This well is currently making about 50 barrels of oil a day and 200 barrels of water or so. This one's making 80 and probably 400, 500 barrels of water.
There's a lot of oil to be found in New Mexico these days. Mark Murphy is one of those benefiting from it.
We have about 130 wells that we plan to drill here. We've only got 7 on here right now. So we've got a lot of development to do out here.
Almost all of the land here is federal, and that means it's in a precarious place. On his first day in office, President Biden signed a temporary moratorium on new oil and gas leases on federal property. What's the impact of a federal ban on new oil and gas leases out here?
It's absolutely devastating. When the administration says that banning federal leases doesn't affect existing leases, they're simply wrong, and they don't know how this business works.
There's something familiar about all this. A Democratic politician promises to help the environment by shifting how America gets its energy, and an energy executive complains that it'll hurt their business and damage the economy. But in New Mexico, things are a little more complicated than that. Because in addition to the industry being good for business, revenue from oil and gas also makes up a third of the state's budget, including $1 billion for something Democrats care a lot about: education.
The county has a really good relationship with a lot of industry partners. Chevron's a great partner. Mobil is a very good partner. Oxy is here, Devon.
These are important
relationships.
Alan Davis is a former Chevron superintendent who now helps run Eddy County, one of the largest oil-producing parts of the state.
2019, 2020, Lee and Eddy County, the production from those two counties generated about $3.5 billion each. There have been a lot of bills introduced in past and current legislative session that advocate moving away from oil and gas. Part of that challenge is those other industries that are being advocated, they don't pay the taxes that oil and gas pays. They don't pay the royalties. Where is your money going to come from if this changes? Has your school district decided where they're going to take a 10% or a 20% or a 30% drop if that investment doesn't come back here and production levels are sustained? Are you going to cut supplies, facilities, teachers? Oh wait, you're the poorest, you're one of the worst states in the nation in terms of education, and now you've stopped your revenue stream. Doesn't make a lot of sense.
Needless to say, the oil and gas industry knows this is a winning talking point.
The New Mexico legislature proposed laws aimed at oil and gas would take billions away from public education, gutting our schools.
That's no fun for teachers like Jennifer St. Clair.
It is an awkward position to be in because a lot of us aren't here, in certain parts of the state, we see oil and gas as a real problem in terms of the environment and climate change, so we're conflicted. I remember last summer when the price of oil went to a negative number, I know teachers were like, oh goodness, what is gonna happen to us? But I think teachers really do see that there are costs to that. It's not free money.
To some extent, this feels like a problem of Democrats' own making. And by being so comfortable with the many years of largesse from this industry, they've created this scenario where it's so easy for the industry to say, well, you better hope we don't go away.
Yeah, we've become dependent. I think we're trapped by our own lack of awareness of what could possibly be changed.
Is there a scenario where the administration imposes long-term bans on leases and nothing else really happens that would make you nervous?
Yes. Yeah. But I've got to, despite my, cynicism, I've got to have faith in our government that they will hustle as much as they need to figure out how they're going to offset that. And I think there are ways.
We're here now at the state capitol in Santa Fe, where lawmakers are inside right now trying to plan out their budget for this year. And for Democrats, a really big problem for them is, what are they going to do if the oil and gas freeze becomes permanent? We asked State Senator Bill Soules, who's the chairman of the Senate Education Committee, just how much of a problem that causes for him.
You know, oil and gas has been very good for the budgets of New Mexico, but the biggest problem is the volatility of it. That some years when oil and gas, is way up, we are flush with money. And then the next year, the bottom may fall out. There are a lot of people very nervous a couple of years out to what's going to happen with budgets.
In a way, does this put Democrats in a kind of awkward position in this state where you have these somewhat ambitious progressive initiatives and a desire to put more money into education, but it's in some conflict with energy policies and environmental policies?
It's kind of a yes and no, we need to make sure that we're moving forward to other energy sources that do not contribute to climate change, while at the same time recognizing our budgets are currently dependent on that, and you can't cut that off all at once, and so it really is looking at it as a transition.
Is there a sense that you're behind the times, that this is a problem that maybe should have been tackled 5-10 years ago?
I think there's a sense of that.
If this freeze becomes permanent, isn't that a problem now, this year, next year?
If things continued exactly as they are, possibly, but it's already starting to drop. And I think New Mexico needs to be careful and not completely hitch our wagon to that industry and really start looking at how we can diversify.
Yeah, but you also at the same time can't just walk away.
It's a transition.
Do you think some Democrats feel a little bit held hostage by this? Because now you want to do this thing that's right for the environment, and they kind of can't.
If I look at the nature of some of the bills that get put forward, you scratch your head and say, what are you folks thinking? I think you're right. The conversation should have started before. Why it did or why it didn't, I don't know. Could be oil and gas is notorious for, oh, please, one more boom, just one more boom, right?